Hey dreamers, this is Jade. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am here to do my June reads. So I am highlighting the ones that I love the most as far as what I read in June, and then in the back I'll do the rest that I read but didn't quite, really enjoy. So the first one that I'm getting to is called Blood Sugar by Sasha Rothschild. It is a I honestly don't know what to call this. It's, I guess, in the mystery thriller genre, but the way that it's written and the point of view that you get the story from, I wouldn't call it a mystery or a drama. Maybe a suspense, because you kind of want to know what the hell is going on. Or what happened or whatever, because I mean the twist in this book comes directly at the front. Like in the first few sentences, I had to, like, because I listened to it on audiobook, but the first few sentences I definitely had to go back and listen to it again, because I was like, did I hear what I thought I heard? Because it was so, like, out of pocket. I had never, let's just say it was very unexpected. I was not expecting it, because I didn't know much of anything about this book. However, somebody, God, I can't remember who it was, but I was watching their reading journal update or whatever, and they were talking about this book. They had read it or listened to. I think they listened to it as well, and I'd listened to it on Spotify. And they were just saying how good it was, and they didn't spoil anything. And so I'm very much trying not to spoil anything as well, because as I said, the surprise for me came in the first few sentences of the book. And then from there it's like, okay, so what happened? Because there are other things that happen regarding the same situations that happened in the beginning. I know I'm talking in circles, but that's just because I'm trying to relay what's happening without telling you, because I don't want to spoil anything in case you have not read this book and you are considering it. But basically, it tells the story of subsequent events or whatever, and then the predicament that this person has found themselves in as of now, how and why, and how it all turns out, and all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling, and I know it's convoluted because I can't tell you without really spoiling the big thing that comes in the very beginning of the book, so you know pretty much immediately. So yeah. Anyway, it was. Let's just suffice it to say that I really enjoyed this one. Definitely a game changer. I don't know. I wouldn't say game changer, but it's just something that I don't recall in my experience of reading. God, for since I was 4 years old, let's put it that way, and older, once I got into mysteries and thrillers and suspense and stuff like that. I personally don't remember. Not to say that I haven't, but I don't remember getting a story in this type of POV, whatever. So I don't know. It was really good, and I just decided to decorate. I wanted to kind of mimic the cover again, so I found some cardstock in my stash. I'll link the kind of cardstock if I can, or anything I use in this spread. I'll try to link below, so just check there. But anyway, so I found it to make the colors kind of in the book, and then there's just some dark shapes there. Some of it is a palm tree, and so I decided to make my own palm trees in the AI generator as a silhouette and do that. And then I just put this reading girl down here because this is what I was doing. I was in it. I was in the story immediately. Okay, immediately I was entranced. I was like, okay, what's going on? So I definitely love this book. I will say that it is my favorite for the month of June. Although there were some other good books, this one did come out on top. So I wanted to record it here. And that pretty much wraps up Blood Sugar by Sasha Rothschild. And now I will be moving on. so the next book I'm getting down is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. And again, I'm trying to kind of mimic the cover or the colors in the cover and whatnot. It's not perfect, but I really enjoyed the way that this turned out. It's just, the colors are so pretty. Anyway, to do that, I did pull out my Tim Holtz Distress inks. I think some of them are just regular and some of them are probably the oxides. So one of them is Picked Raspberry, if I'm not mistaken. And another, the orange one, Baby Marigold. I don't know. Again, everything will be linked below in the description box if anybody is interested. I did pull out my blending brushes. I got those a while ago. And so yeah, I'm just kind of blending those together, and then I will pull out, I think there's a yellow as well that goes, yeah, there's this yellow here that goes, and as I said, I'm just kind of trying to mimic the colors that are in the book cover. And I think I did a pretty good job. Again, it's not perfect, but really enjoyed that. So I start off by getting all the distress ink down first, and then trying to go back in, and I'm blending it as much as I can. Excuse me. And adding more colors into like those white spaces and stuff like that. So but for the most part, that's it. And now again, the cover has a whole lot of flowers and stuff on it, and I have like a ton of Maggie Holmes flowers in my stash. So just trying to use up some of those. I'm picking a few of those to put down at the bottom of this, like the way the book cover is. And so yeah, I'm getting these down first. So I'll get the ephemera flowers down first, and then I'll go back in and also stamp some flowers with just some flower stamps I've had in my stash. I don't remember, one of them is again Maggie Holmes that I'm using, and another one is from a more recent pack. I can't remember, it may still be Maggie Holmes, but I'm not sure. I just know it's a more recent stamp collection. It's maybe in the past couple years it came out or whatever, whereas this other stuff, it's been years and years since it's been out. So again, check below if you're looking for links. If it's not there, I apologize, but I'll try to find what I can. Anyway, I'm cutting the excess off here and then I will go ahead and, what will I do next? I think I either, am I getting down? Yes. No. Okay, I know what I'm doing next. I'm getting the picture down of the book. And then I start, of course, writing out the information that I like to put, which is the author, genre, publisher, published series, rating, and format. And this one I rated a 4. I really enjoyed this book. It would have been a 5, but I both liked and kind of disliked something about this book. And what that was I enjoyed Soledad so much in her children. First of all, I feel like the ex-husband just kind of got off. This is what bothers me. A couple of the things that bothered me just kind of got off scot-free. I mean, of course he had some punishment, but for what he did and how he tore her and their children's lives apart, the consequences just were not enough. And then I feel like it just kind of skated through with what happened. And as far as white men and white collar crime, I guess that is realistic. I understand that it's realistic, that they just really don't have too many consequences when it comes to stuff like that. However, it still pissed me off, and I felt like something should happen or whatever. But anyway, so that's one of the things that aggravated me about this book. And the other thing that I actually really loved, but then I just felt like it went on too long, was the Soledad basically, her husband does something to basically upend their lives. So she, of course, divorces him and everything like that. And then the person involved in exposing her husband, she ends up getting close to him. And Josiah is so, I love him so much. I love him as a husband, a friend, a father, everything, all the things he's very good at or whatever. But so she goes on a journey to rebuild herself in her life to the point where she doesn't feel like she needs to rely on anybody else, because she has it and she doesn't have to rely on anybody else's money and stuff like that. Kudos to Soledad, because ladies, have your own money. Even if you're a traditional wife, stay-at-home mom, whatever, put some money away somewhere, and just in case you need an exit plan. But she does that, and then she in the meantime she begins self partnering, which is, loving herself and doing things for herself and stuff. I love that. I love that. I think everybody should. I think it's a lifelong journey. However, I just felt like it went on too long in this book, to the point where she wasn't giving the guy Josiah a chance, because it was like, no, I'm doing this, no, I'm self partnering, I'm so okay, we get it, you can do both. Two things can be true at once. So other than that, it was a great book. I love the story. I love going through her journey with her or whatever. Those were the only two things that I was just kind of exhausted with or whatever. But other than that, I just thought it was an excellent book. Kennedy Ryan is always chef's kiss. I will always give her flowers because she is just everything. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. I'm finally doing my spread for That Time I Got Drunk and Yeed a Love Potion at a Werewolf. So this is the second in the Mead Mishap series. The first one that was That Time I Got Drunk and Saved the Demon, which I absolutely loved. I gave that one 5 stars. This one, and I gave 4 stars. I really enjoyed this one as well, just not as much as the first one. What I really love about these books, they are so fun and lighthearted and just cute and romantic or whatever. It does have the spice, and the spice in this one was giving very much okay, I've never been here before with it or whatever. This is very, very different. Not sure if I'm into this, but okay. But it was interesting, I guess I should say. But I love Felix. He is just so cute. And of course, Bree, she is hilarious. Her and her best friend, Cinnamon, or whatever. So we're back in this world, and the demons that came with Cinnamon from her journey have basically settled in the town that Bree lives in. And so there is this person that is basically harassing Bree, and he tries to get her to drink this thing or whatever, and she takes it. She's just so annoyed with him. She takes it and yeets it at him, but she ends up hitting somebody else, which is the werewolf Felix. And I love him. I loved him from the first book. He was so adorable and very helpful to Bree in her mission or whatever, and very thankful to her because she basically freed him from what happened. And so yeah, anyway, so he is smitten, but he's like, no, this is not because of the love potion, you're my mate or whatever. And she's like, yeah, right, I don't know about all that. She's very, very skeptical of this, and she's like, I'm not going there with you until this love potion wears off, because I don't want you saying this, all of this kind of stuff, and I'm not really who you think I am or whatever. So anyway, but so their journey together is hilarious and interesting and everything like that. So while all this is going on, them trying to navigate this new relationship, because Felix is insistent that she's his mate. She's like, I don't know about all that because I accidentally hit you with a love potion or whatever, and so I'm trying to hold off here. But once Felix as a werewolf recognizes his mate, it's like very pertinent that he mates with this person, otherwise he'll, I think it's something very drastic, like maybe death or something. And so they're trying to navigate all of that and how they're going to do that, while also there's some interesting things going on in the town. These women keep disappearing. Nobody knows what's happening to them and whatever. And something I forget what it's called, tried to take Bree, but Felix was like, it's not happening on my watch, not happening, okay, or whatever. So then they have to go on this journey to find out what happened to the women, where they are, try to rescue them if they are still alive, and all that kind of stuff. And then it touches on a topic that is very prevalent in today's social media, the whole basically red pill talking points, but they do it in such a fun and lighthearted way, addressing this serious concern really about all of that kind of weird stuff in this book, but in a fun way, where it's not like super duper serious, but it is addressed because it's something that needs to be addressed. I mean, the whole red pill thing is just first of all, it's a little insane. It's a lot insane if I'm not mincing words here. And just to see a lot of young men falling into that, and the way that they treat and interact with women nowadays because of that, and they wonder why they're single and women want nothing to do with them, is insane. But anyway, so that's kind of interwoven into this. I don't want to tell you how, because I mean, you'll figure it out if you read this. It's a quick book, quick read, really fun, charming. I love Felix, and there is another one in the Mead Mishap series, That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading that. I actually don't have that here, so I'll have to pick that up soon. So yeah, I'm trying to fill in that white space, and it's not going well for me. I forget how I end up decorating it, but I do put this little sticker down here at the bottom, and I'll just cut off the edge of that. And then, no, that's what I do. I get my stamps out, and then I just stamp in a few hearts, and I go over it with the Faber-Castell marker that I'm using. I had pulled out that other one. I had like a red, and it wasn't really matching Felix's shirt there, so I pulled one out that would match that shirt better. And so yeah, that wraps up That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf. And I will move on now to getting the rest of the books that I read for the month of June in my journal. Now, these are the ones that I read, I wanted to make note of, but I didn't want to give them their own spread. So I am doing this. I have counted out what I need for half a page, and so I'm just limiting myself to that space, unless I have one, which you'll see on the back side, that I have one more that needs to go in, and I have more room, so I just end up writing a little bit more until I feel like stopping or whatever. So excuse me, I am splitting those up, and the first book that I finished was Fire and Ash by Jonathan Mayberry. This is the fourth book in the Rotten Ruin series and the completion of it. There is a book that has more short stories. More short stories about the world, called Bits and Pieces. I do have that. However, this is the end of the actual series of the books. So, and it was actually a decent ending, because the roller coaster of these books. I actually really enjoyed the first one. Really enjoyed the second one. The second one I think was my favorite, because I felt like it was the first one all over again, just bigger and badder and more ostentatious or whatever. So it was great. And then the third one is the one that sucked for me. It was like, maybe I gave it like a 2 or something, because one of the characters that I just really didn't like at all was very much more unlikable in that book. So I couldn't stand her. She was getting on my nerves, and then like all the rest of the stuff that was happening, it was just not good. Okay, but anyway, but the third book really surprised me, because I expected it to keep on the trajectory of, I'm over this. I just want to read this and get it done so I can get rid of these books. But I actually ended up really liking the ending. They are basically, this is the end. They have to fight and defeat the Reapers, who are trying to take over the world. They are this basically religious cult who thinks that the zombies are supposed to be the ones that take over, and everybody living is supposed to be dead. So they're going around killing everybody and yada yada yada. And they find out there are 9 towns still living, still with people thriving, all that kind of stuff. And the Reapers kind of want to wipe all of them out. And so this little ragtag group of people that went out into the ruin are tasked with trying to stop them. And I actually really, really liked it. I finally, once they got to the battle, it was very action packed. Okay, so I enjoyed that. There was somebody that they were looking for that they thought might have been dead, and then I don't know. It was good. Okay, like the final battle was good, and then it leaves off kind of as very, very hopeful. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. I read Then Came You by Lisa Kleypas. This was the first in the Gamblers of Craven series. I'd never heard of that series, and I know I'd never read this book, so I did pick it up. I actually only gave this one 3 stars. I was very surprised at this book, which means it was good. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. I actually really love Lisa Kleypa's books. I just usually gobble them up. This one wasn't the best for me, and I think it's because I felt like it was a whole lot of just extra stuff in the beginning that was just not necessary, or it took a while for the FMC, the female main character, and the male main character to meet and interact with each other. I mean, there was one instance where they were together, but they never met or anything like that. So to me, that doesn't count. And this, it just took too long to get started for me. But once they got started, and the guy at first, just I was like, no, I don't like him. He getting on my nerves. He's very, I don't even know how to describe it. Just, I don't know, because she is very, what's her name? Lily is very, very free spirited, fly by the seat of your pants, and Alex is very not, okay? But he falls for her anyway, and once they get into the story, I enjoy it. However, it just wasn't my favorite. And then the next one I read was an audiobook. It's called She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. This one was pretty good. I gave this one a 4-star. It was just something I was scrolling through Spotify and decided to pick and read. And this one is a mystery thriller, I suppose I should say. But it has, to me, it has like a dual kind of mystery going on. Now, the first one, after not too long in the book, for me, I was like, okay, this person is sketchy. I think this person got something to do with whatever's going on or whatever. And so I was right about that coming into the book. But there is another bigger mystery that's going on, and the way that the story is told, as far as the POVs and stuff, it really fooled me. Okay, and I did not anticipate or even suspect or guess this at all. As far as the mystery and what happened and who was responsible for it, did not guess it at all. Didn't even, because the way it's told, it's like it's all told in the present, but like it's like you're getting it in the present. However, there are some things that are happening in the past. There are things that are happening in the past, but the way it's written, you would never guess it. Like, for me, I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. But I don't know. Okay. I don't know how to explain it to you all. But there's definitely some past stuff going on here. And whereas a lot of books make it clear that, hey, this is the past we're talking about, this one did not. So you just think all of this is happening in the present. And when you finally get to the part, you're like, oh crap, I didn't even see that coming. So it was, I don't know, I liked it because it threw me off my guard here. Like I said, I did guess one of the things, but the major mystery of this thing, it just was not computing for me this time. Okay, and so I enjoyed that. It kind of rattled me and shook me up a little bit. So really enjoyed that one. And so I'll probably check some more stuff out by this author. And then the next one was Wildfire. Y'all, if I'm being honest, okay, Wildfire, it was, again, just okay. I gave it a 3 stars. Not good, not bad. But when I tell you that this story is just not even memorable to me, I don't remember. I know the guy's name was Russ, and that's probably just because he was in the first book in this series, which is the Maple Hills series by Hannah Grace. He was an Icebreaker. But like, I don't even remember. When I was trying to write this, I didn't remember the girl's name. I had to look it up. Basically, he meets this girl at his the place he lives. They having a party, and then they end up together at this camp. as counselors, and they are just kind of navigating their relationship from there. There's nothing that stands out in this book. There's nothing, again, like I said, that's memorable for this. No memorable quotes, nothing like that. It was just okay, and I'm really hoping that I think I'm going to get the last one, which is Daydreamer. I think is the last one, Daydreamer, simply because I did enjoy the first one, and I do believe the cover of that book is purple, and that's my favorite color. And so I'm hoping for a better story. So yeah. Anyway, excuse me. The next one was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This one again, actually enjoyed this up until a point. I okay. Let me take a breath. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 3.5 stars though, because there was some, okay, with this one, Emily Henry gives you the story of this these two people who became friends in college, and then they began having these annual summer trips together or whatever, and so they became really really good, close and tight friends. However, there was something that happened on their last trip together that broke them apart for like 2 years. They did not talk, didn't text, didn't do anything or like that. And so Emily keeps alluding to this monumental thing that happened that broke them apart or whatever, and recounting, and it's like present day. They do reconnect, they go on another vacation, so you get that in present day, and then it also recounts the vacations they went on up to the point of this event that happened. And then it just, to me, the event of what happened to tear them apart dragged on for too long. You're like, okay, what happened or whatever. And when they finally get to it, I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, the event that happened was not monumental at all. It was like, this is what stopped them from talking for 2 years type of situation. And then it was really something that could have been resolved with a phone call, and or hell, even an email. Like, seriously, they really could have resolved this kind of quickly had they just talked to each other. So I didn't enjoy that at all. I was really disappointed. I thought it was something like so major, and it was not. Okay, so and it's funny because I like the rest of this book. I mean, like the banter, their relationship, from friendship to them both understanding that they have feelings for each other, and just holding on to it and not admitting it or whatever. It was good. It was an interesting journey. However, that whole thing of withholding that information for so long, and it's something like, oh, are you serious? Like that, I was like, so that's why it only got a 3.5. Anyway, this pretty much wraps this up. If you have any comments or questions, please leave those below. I trust you all have been safe and well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.